YouTube. We got Nick here today, and he's going to be giving us our first Force of Will deck profile. We haven't done many Force of Will videos, mostly because I don't know how to play the game, so I didn't want our videos to be inconsistent with rulings and stuff. But Nick's one of our most trusted players, so he's going to be showing us his deck.
Okay, so we're going to start off with these green kitty things. The Familiar of the Holy Wind. I actually don't read the names all that much. Anyway, the point of this thing is that it's going to come up the early board, and 9 times out of 10, it is a cantrip that I'm using to poke for 200 for like 3 turns before they start playing down better threats. The Banish effect, I've used it. It's okay. It's good. It's there. Moving on. Gretel and Eldritch Visionary. Alright, so I don't know if you can tell right away, but we're playing Jund Control here. Control wants mana in this very tempo-oriented game, and this is how you get extra mana right now. If I could, I would, quite honestly, I'd play another Dork, like this guy. If there was 8 of this guy, I'd play him. Gretel, he makes the counterspell better, like Absolute Cake Zone. You draw cards, and that's good. But like this card is so relatively slow compared to everything else in the deck that the Dork is just better. I have 1 more games when I have the Dork up first than I have this guy. And, well, yeah, no, that's all I really got to say about this card. This guy also pokes in for 200, and that's strong. Moving on to removal. We got top end, 2 stories in 1001 Nights. I am running Liberator as the front, but this could easily just be like 2 Necronomicons and Abdul in the front. This deck is 90% the same for whatever ruler you want to run, so that does make things a little different. But this thing is very strong. It is, in Magic terms, an unmake staple to a surgical extraction, and it's very hard to come back if you get like Mephistopheles or, say, a Feasting banished. I'm using completely incorrect terms here, by the way, because I can't stop talking like Magic player. As for the off-green color rule, Flames, 3 of, 4 Thunder, 2 Crime and Punishment, 2 Rapid Decay. Alright, so there are no starting deaths in this list between the main and side, and I cut them because double black for that card was so hard to make and so hard to justify keeping up that it was not worth running. However, Flames, it is easier to get a red and a black versus double black or double red kind of thing. And since I'm running all green stones anyway, triple green's easy to justify. Rapid Decay has so many targets, game 1, across the board, that because 1 and 2 drops are probably the bread and butter of this game. So this will always have a target. This deck has no way to deal with rulers, and that's precisely what you're doing this for. You're holding this up for like Abduls. You're holding this up for really just Abdul. That and other big hitters. Like I've hit that thing with I chopped Mephistopheles and hit that with it, and that wins the game pretty well. And by chomp, I mean throw a Gretel into it and then have it destroy itself. Counter Magic. Zeke's, Cake Zone, Exceed. Zeke's is a 3 of. A lot of the time I was only using it for the remove soul from Magic, so hitting the summon spells out of opposing decks was good. And I'd pump the team occasionally, but there are a couple matchups where I'd use the other hexproof mode, and the shuffling effect is irrelevant, but like I was mostly using it as a counterspell. And there was just no other time to use it as the other 3 modes to warrant having the 4th in the main. Beyond that, I'm also running this girl, and I put her with the Mana Dork because she fills a flex slot that's actually just really good in the format. She'll prevent damage from Mephistopheles, she'll make mana, and this thing on turn 3 is very backbreaking. She has very important stats. She can't be single thundered, and it takes so much mana to like Thunder plus Sealing Stoner. And she just generally is very efficient at whatever she does. and she does fill a lot of roles. So like, she'll make combat awkward for aggro game 1, and no, that's really it. Accelerating your mana against burn is also relevant. Like, I don't think game 1 in this deck right now, unless you have openings like this, and this in the same hand, that you can win without tight play. And she'll make the burn matchup better. As for curve out, what I'm looking to drop later in the game, double Mephie Blazer. Okay, so this could be a third Mephie if you're playing on dual main, but I'm not, and having double Mephie on the board isn't valuable in this deck. You can't negate both of them, prevent them sacking themselves, and you want to, going forward, I want to have a diversity of threats against this card. Because if I get my Mephie's banished, oh wait, all 3 of my win conditions are gone, oops. This also can't be stored, which is nice, because then I can just recast it, since you can cast it from exile. Macrocosmos effect, anything with banish, you don't care. You don't use the graveyard in any way, shape, or form. So having this doesn't hurt you. There's just no reason not to drop it sometimes. It also, having haste is kind of making it a pseudo removal spell, since you can attack, tap dudes. And yes, I realize that you're all going to hate me for not using the magic terms, but no, this is not happening now. As you can tell, I'm using this girl as the ruler. She could just as easily be Abdul. The decks are all the same. You just swap a few cards out, like put Laws and Necronomicon's Mage. But I really don't give a shit. Well, you can bleep that out. As for sideboarding, Necro, Abdul, and what was that third card? Oh, right, it doesn't matter. No, so I am playing using the side. The reason I am is because in the mirror match of the Jund mirror match right there, the Zeeks is, I don't want this against Zeeks. But what I do want is, I want this against aggro. I want this against burn, because this is better against burn. At least I think it is. I haven't played much against burn in the last few months, so I don't know what they're doing again. Otherwise, I also got extra copies of these if I need to swap things out. The 4th Zeke. Sometimes you actually do need the extra thing, like there's a dude playing Yellow Big Roads, like put this thing against him. Pretty good when they all fall off. Well, the additions anyway. Zeros. If I actually need to get into the red zone with this deck, I need to. I'll need this. This just makes the red zone possible for you. This should be a 0. It's in my binder. I was testing the Jawas in the first place, the 40 Thieves, the Jawas basically. But I didn't want to pull out the other one, so I have it, it's just not there right now. This thing. I don't know why I'm playing this. It's a good card, and I don't want it every matchup, but I want it in some. Where do I not want it? I don't even know anymore. Mostly in the Joan of Arc decks that are popular. I would rather have that over the black one. Law Silence. Mainly because when I side into Abdul, I want something to be doing with that. With Abdul that makes him busted, and this makes him busted. This also has utility against burn. Like, you draw step them, and the only thing they can cast is their instance before this resolves. Or you can aggressively go against burn, like bring this, and these, and the next card, which is this, and just aggressively attack them. And you become this weird tempo bug Delver deck from Legacy ported over into Forcible, but you're Jund, and it's really awkward. And that seems like a better strategy against burn, since you're like taking less life. I still don't like the double black cost out of these, because it's actually kind of hard to make sometimes. So this is like a late game top against them, and yeah, no, I still don't like double costing blacks. For stones, for this, yeah, 4. The basic, I will always fetch this against burn. If I see anything that could be burn, I will fetch this. Because Liberator lets you to fetch the land. Because you want to minimize how much you take from splitting of heaven and earth. So what I'll do is I'll stop on 4 lands and not go to not go until I need to hit my color requirements. And that's how I minimize the damage I take. It allows me to tap out further, game 2, because I'm playing more aggressively against them. The other stones I'm playing were the red-green ones and the Sealing Stone. Sealing Stone mostly for the color requirements, but also the removal spells. It lets me to trade up my Thunders into other things. And it's mana intensive, but in the control mirror, you want to be doing that thing because you just don't have anything to spend your mana on otherwise if they don't tap out. That is the deck. Around here in this new part of New Jersey, there is mostly Jund players. They're located, like most of the forcible locations are off the Raritan Valley line, so if you're from New York, you could possibly go to those places too. You can walk to the store from the Bound Brook line, or if there's another train line, I don't know if I don't know the train lines by heart. So yeah, these stores are actually really close to New York if you consider money a part of your travel expenses. Around here, it varies. Like, there's another store who's going in a totally different direction metagame-wise, which is kind of interesting. And I'm not opposed to this actually. Around here though, in this specific Elite Battleground store, metagame-wise, me and my friend can build pretty much anything. There's a couple guys who would play if we got them decks, and that's not a problem. But don't expect us to like fill everybody up here. And no, just shoot, come by and we'll play. Like, I have these decks on me all the time. I carry these more than I do most of my Magic decks. I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else I need to talk about. So if there's anything you want to ask, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I didn't understand any of that except for the Macrocosmos reference because I play Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I played for a while.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks Nick, and we'll be back with more videos later on YouTube. Thanks.